Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPrath, and my name's Kenan, his son and the producer of the show. Now, I've got a quick introduction for you here, and then I'll turn it over to Christopher for the evening to do the readings. Now, of course, for anyone who's joining us for the very first time, be sure to just say something out there in the chat. So, for the very first time, of course, there's no charge for readings, and then going forward after that, it's $10 per reading, or you can cover the entire month with $100. So I feel like that's a pretty sweet deal there, since we do 3 shows per week. That's normally Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday at 6 p.m. That's Arizona time for everyone out there. So tonight's show, Expectation Station, I know Christopher's got a lot of amazing things to share with you about that. Personally, one thing I've learned to at least try and live by is that expecting something good and not getting it is automatically a bad thing. So it's one of the reasons humility is helpful. Just generally trying not to expect good things helps in terms of overall happiness. While accepting or reframing these so-called negative circumstances, that can give us absolute freedom from them. So it's a balance of these two things. It's accepting things as they come along and then doing the best with what we got. So thanks for listening this evening. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and here's Christopher.
Thank you all so much for joining us, and welcome Happy Hippie Medium. It's so glad you could join us. Thank you so much. What we do, Happy Hippie, is we pull a card in the order that people came into the show. We always start the show off with a blessing. So great Thanksgiving to all of you. I'm grateful for you, and I know that there are many things, many people in your life that you're grateful for. So the incense tonight is to step into that space of surrender and knowing that it's safe to reveal your true self. So here's that blessing to step into that space of surrender, to truly and really be who you are, because there's nobody on earth like you. There never will be anyone else on earth like you. You're here now. You have gifts, and you have gifts to share. So, great blessings to you. Expectation Station. When you set up expectations, you're setting up a full range of anger, fear, disappointment, jealousy, annoyance, bitterness, resentment, envy, insecurities, and even not just future expectations, but past expectations that you feel were not met. That also sets up regret, grief, sorrow, shame, and sadness. They call it emotional addiction. People can actually get addicted to these types of emotions. And so, is Marilyn on tonight?
Yes.
Okay. Marilyn Pitts sent me this text, and she said I could share it. So I really wanted to. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's quite extensive. She said this is something we can discuss when I have my next reading, or maybe it's a question you can bring up on the show. I just wanted to know the thoughts around it. Yesterday, I noticed a large number of people grieving and bringing up it was the anniversary of someone's death, and that they want to say that they miss that person, etc., etc., etc. I understand a lot of people are grieving. Now, understand that Marilyn Pitts, for 30, 40 years, is and was a hospice nurse. So, I understand a lot of people are grieving, and I'm sympathetic to that, but a lot of times these posts are over the top. And they're not just on the anniversary of a death or a special day, but sometimes these people have been doing this for years. So in many cases, Marilyn, it's why, and you mentioned in the text that you just ended up scrolling through these. And I don't blame you, because many times these people are actually addicted to the expectation station. Many people are in a state of seeking out a situation that leads to drama and chaos. And so they suffer from emotional addiction. They even call it taking a hit, just like you would a drug, a street drug. Take a hit of a street drug, you take a hit of emotional addiction. Which really, one of the reasons is that it causes a distraction or an escapism, or it makes people feel alive. And this makes sense. If you've all read my book, Things the Dead Fear, Trestle Creek, Things the Dead Fear. I was raised in a haunted house where my parents were constantly fighting. And so to get into a calm, nice, healthy relationship was boring and scary. Because my training around relationships had been a lot of fear, disappointment, jealousy, annoyance, you name it. And I became addicted to it. It's called adrenaline, and cortisol is actually released in your brain. So I wanted to address this tonight because many times in the reading, this does come up. And it's simply taking time and letting go. As I've said on the show before, they used to call me the Crisco Kid, because I'd be at a party and then I would just become overwhelmed and I would be gone. Or I'd be in the middle of a conversation and boop, be gone. I just couldn't even be there. Especially if it was a healthy party or a healthy relationship, that type of thing. So this is why I lit the incense for you all tonight, is to that step in that place of surrender and to reveal your true self without the need for adrenaline, without the need for taking a hit, without the need of cortisol spikes. That you can be you, keep going. You guys every one of you are making tremendous strides. Okay, and this goes into then our group cards. So we do a group card first, and then in the order that you came into the show, I will pull a card for you or do a reading. So the group card tonight are these Lemurian seed codes. This is an example, and I've showed this on the show before, of a Lemurian crystal. Let me show it over here. Okay, it's a Lemurian crystal. Lemuria was said to be a continent where the people that lived on this continent were enlightened. They were advanced beings. They had tremendous psychic powers. They were very, very advanced, very calm. But the civilization came to an end through a cataclysmic event. And they knew that this cataclysmic event was going to happen to the earth. And so they went around, and these are found especially like in Brazil and Colombia, but they're very unusual crystals. They're called Lemurian crystals. You can do some Google research on it. Lemurian, Lemurian crystals. But they're said to contain the benefits, the lessons of that civilization. And what's interesting is there's ridges on each side of these crystals. I know some of you, when we've talked about this before, have ordered some. And these are said to be like barcodes or coding within the crystal. And just even running up your fingernail up and down the crystal, you somehow spiritually get that code downloaded into you. But those striations are like barcodes that are engraved. But the point of this card, can we show the group card again? And I encourage you to take a picture of this, because this is really highlighting your uniqueness without the chaos, without the drama. And remember that that drama and that chaos, if you're creating it or you've become addicted to it, it can be keeping you from looking at the deeper things that you need to look at, any of the trauma that you've had to deal with. So this is a safe show. You're in a safe space. And sometimes these messages come up. But it's not just the message, it's the energy behind it to help you transform. Every one of you have made huge, huge strides. I get texts from you, I get emails. Thank you all so very much. And thank you for being here on a Thanksgiving weekend. It's so great. But this card is about having spent lifetimes upon lifetimes to get where you're at today. Give yourself some credit. You've come a long, long way. And this lifetime is more graceful existence than you ever have had. And so this is about living with more trust, less defense, less chaos, way less, zero drama. Okay? It's not about protecting yourself, but about stepping into that space of surrender and revealing your true self. Okay, so that's the group card. Who do we have on first?
Awesome, it's Marilyn Pitts.
Oh, Marilyn. Okay, here we go. Thank you for that wonderful observation that you made today. And the thing is I really avoid, it's not that I avoid social media, I look at the positive on the social media. Okay. And you're right, I just keep scrolling past the trauma. So what I do, if you're new to the show, is I shuffle through the cards, and whatever card falls out is your highest and best priority for tonight. So Marilyn, you're very compassionate. This is the compassion card. This is perfect with your message that you sent me today. Marilyn's back east. There's a reason that you were a hospice nurse for 30 years. You were there to help the families of the people that were about to transcend, but you're also there to help those people that were transcending to be able to cross over much more comfortably, much more easily. And the most important thing, and this is a validation of what you texted me today, it is a compassionate for yourself to not read those dramas, traumas, and chaos. Because people become addicted. You wouldn't necessarily go down to a drug house to try to save the people that are taking the drugs. You wait. You could be much better off to create a shelter, create a nonprofit, and have them come there. They have to wanna get it. Other people want to stay addicted. And it's being compassionate with yourself to only work with people that want to get it. And no apologies necessary for not wanting to be around people that don't want to get it. So this is the universe, Marilyn, acknowledging your compassion, but mainly, everyone, please be the most compassionate with yourself. Holiday seasons can be very, very stressful because you're going to be around people that you necessarily don't want to be around or not are around very often. Be kind to yourself. And that you don't need an apology. You don't need to apologize for needing to go. Okay, here we go. And we have next. Hey, Diney. Okay. Okay. So you've got one of my favorite cards. It's called the Tower card. When the towers collapsed in 2001, it set up a whole new way of doing things, a whole new way of thinking. And so the Tower card is the dissipation of structure, or the way that you used to view things. So let me give you an illustration. So everyone on the show, Diane is my sister, in case you didn't know. But my mom was a heavy smoker. And so she would tell Diane, you're going to smoke one day. You're going to smoke one day. And Diane's like, no, I'm really not. So recently, with this illness that broke out in 2020, my sister had symptoms for 3 years. I'm not going to name it, but you all know what I'm talking about. And so I read an article about nicotine gum. Now, immediately, you can go, no, 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 no. No, no, no. Nicotine kills. Well, nicotine is actually from a plant, right? There's many drugs, many medicinal things that come from plants. Anyway, she started chewing this nicotine gum, and this has only been 5 days now, and the symptoms all went away. So that's the example of changing your viewpoint around, because it's not smoking, but it is around the idea of nicotine, where you have to collapse that and then look at something new that's coming your way, like the nicotine gum, to serve a means to an end, to serve a purpose. This is old belief systems for you falling away. How you viewed the world, how you viewed religion, God, you name it, family, letting all of that go, because this card always precedes the new card, which is new beginnings, new birth, new ways of doing things. And understanding that each of us go through the Tower card many times in our lives and be free of the need to rescue people. It's okay to help people, but not to jump in and take away or try to take away their learning or lessen their learning. Allow them, this is the rock bottom card, allowing them to hit rock bottom without going in to try to rescue them, or emotionally feeling sorry for them. You can send them good energy, but when you feel sorry for a person and you're sending them, whoa, oh, I'm so blah, blah, you can continue to send them negative energy, which isn't your purpose, right? So pray for them, bless them, but send them good energy so that they can get through that rock bottom. We've all been through rock bottoms. We've all been through rock bottoms. We know what that's like. And the only way is up. Okay, who's next?
Lindsay and Austin.
Lindsay in Austin. Okay, thanks so much, Lindsay. Thanks for being here on Friday night. I didn't post it till today that we were going to do a show tonight, but this is the makeup show for Sunday because we were actually doing our family Thanksgiving last Sunday. All right, Austin. So there are what they call method actors. Daniel Day-Lewis is a method actor. There's several method actors, which means they prepare for their scenes, they prepare for the movie, but even after they stop filming, they stay in character. They actually become that character. The moods, the reactions, all of that. You're changing roles. You're done playing a role a certain way, and you're moving into change. And in order to move to change, be free of becoming, be aware of having created chaos or drama or drinking or anything else along those lines to support the old way of being. You are safe, Austin. You are safe. You are safe to surrender and reveal your true self. And to be able to look at to create really safe, really healthy, really connected relationship and relationships with people. Because the mind and body can learn to make chaos their home. And so this is major changing for you. This is major changing of roles. That's what this actor card is about. And it's going to be a much, much better, much higher, elevated, happier role. It's like moving from Stephen King movies to Hallmark movies. That's how your life is turning here. It's fantastic. Okay. Lindsay, here we go, Linz. Oh, okay. So we've talked about this, Lindsay. The death card is not about death. I mean, it's not about you dying. It's not about anyone close to you dying. But it is letting go. It is the biggest let go. Death is the biggest let go. So Marilyn Pitts, being a hospice nurse for 30 years, you know, she shared a couple of her experiences with us on the show. and even on YouTube, there's actually a hospice nurse that tells her experiences of the afterlife, and so some of these experiences happen to help the family not remember the body, the 80, 90-year-old body that was laying on the bed, or the sick, ill body that was on the bed, but to look at it beyond the body. So this is you looking past any loss. So it's like your brother's coming through here. And I don't know if you guys ever, there's that children's magazine called Highlight Magazine, and you see, like, all you see is a forest. And the game is to find the hammer or the saw or the car or the rabbit or the moose in the picture that's hidden in the picture. So you can look at death like just one big forest, but not see beyond the forest. Because the adrenaline and the cortisol that can bring us down, or that can cause the trauma, even remembering something that's traumatic can bring up those I want to call them hormones, but they're not. They're neurotransmitters. The neurotransmitters. But this is you changing. This is you actually looking up, looking out. Yeah. I'm going to pull another card for you, Lindsay, to help explain this. This is the aspiration card. This is about looking beyond, having this aspiration of looking beyond this, but not just death, not just literal death, but when you're faced with a forest, go, oh, wait a minute, there's got to be a bunny hidden in here somewhere, right? There's got to be a Lamborghini hidden behind those trees. If you know what I'm talking about, they're like camouflage games. So this is where things are really looking up for you, like literally changing your body, changing your mind, changing your life. It's such a great way. Okay.
Happy hippie medium.
Happy hippie medium. Thanks so much for being and for joining us for the first time. It's lovely to have you. Thank you so much. You're driving, happy hippie. In no uncertain terms, set the boundaries. Because I'm getting that somebody else wants to drive, or somebody else wants to take charge, or somebody else wants to be right. You're driving, you don't mess with the driver. So a couple of years ago, many of you know this story. There's a gentleman on the show, and the message that came across was, it's not your fault. And when he was 16, they were going to the prom. He was driving. The girls were in the back. His best friend was in the front seat. And they were kids, like kids. And the friend was just joking around. And he reached over and he jerked the wheel. Well, they lost control of the car and it rolled many, many times. And the girl in the back seat that was this gentleman's date was killed. And but she was coming through in this reading that it wasn't his fault. So this is you moving past anyone blaming you. In fact, when you move past them, you don't have to honk your horn, you don't have to wave. No, just move past them. And, you know, I always tell my clients, put a bowl of salt under your bed, just a cereal bowl. Salt is very high, very high vibration. Any clients that you're working with that are wanting outside answers for their lives, but not willing to look inside, don't honk, don't wave, bye-bye, keep going. This is for you. This is a new car. It's a new way of driving, a new way of life. So for years I drove a car, and then I went down this summer and I drove a truck, and I'm like, oh, I'm buying a truck, and I bought a truck. It has an elevated view. I like it. Like I knew instantly that was going to be my truck. That's where you're going. You're getting an elevated view, and your clientele is changing. The needy ones are dropping off. Okay.
Very good. It's John Klitlinger.
John Klitlinger.
Abby and Marilyn next.
Oh, Abby and Marilyn are on?
They made it.
Oh, they made it. Okay. So John's on.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, John, keep playing. You are the player. You are the player. You have a lot to offer. Anywhere where you have the program that you're getting old, lose it. Absolutely lose it. Well, I'll call you after this. When was the last time you were at a baseball game or a sports event? What have you done recently that feels like play for you? What have you done that you really, really love doing for you? This is dating younger women. You don't have to date somebody your age. Are you willing to change that? It's doing something out of the ordinary, taking a balloon ride. It'll help you get out of this frame of mind, just going to do something you really, really enjoy without getting too immersed in a project where you're just like, and it's not wrong getting really focused on a project. I'm not saying that, but this will help you just take a few hours to go play something you really love doing. Okay. Who's next? Oh, Abby and Marilyn. Abby and Marilyn. Okay. So the Fool card, Marilyn, is the new beginnings. Give me a minute here. Okay, so there's a gift emerging with you, Marilyn, that is an ability to see past lives. We'll need to talk about this. This is a little bit more involved than just one reading on a show like this. That's why I'm like, but it's a new beginning. So this is a new emerging gift that you've always had. But when you get a feeling, about someone, or you kind of know, and I can kind of be your coach on this, but trust your feeling, trust your gut when you're around that person, or trust what you're seeing, or trust what flashes in front of your eyes, as far as, well, not eyes, but you know what I'm saying. It's a spiritual kind of download that you're getting with people. But there's also someone coming back. So I'm not sure if the past few days you've been thinking about a particular individual that has passed. The reason you've been thinking about him is they're coming back. Or if you've dreamed about them, they're coming back. They're actually really excited because they didn't quite get all the lessons that they needed to get while they were here. So they're excited about coming back to repeat fourth grade. But I'll call you on this one. And then Abby, it's like hiring cleaners to come clean your house. And they just, when they leave and they just didn't do a very good job, right? There's still kind of grease on the stovetop. There's dust in the corners. And in no uncertain terms, call them back and point out to them what they need to do and why they need to do it again. Free of the fear of appearing mean or judgmental or any of that. No, you've paid really good money, right, to have these cleaners come in. So you've done a really pretty good job with giving yourself credit about how smart you are. But I'm going to call you back, and I want to show you the dust in the corners and the greasy stovetop. And go, Abby, are you willing to give yourself more credit? Are you willing to really claim and own fully? I fully and completely own my power and my gifts now. I fully and completely own my full power and my gifts now. So that's what you're toward the end of the show tonight. I now fully and completely own my power and gifts now. And then let go of the idea of bleach being the only cleaner there is out there. I went to the store the other day and I found Dr. Bonner's house soap, and it smells freaking amazing, and it did even a better job than bleach. I swear to God. So this is letting go of, yeah, but I'm smart, but I don't have those gifts, or I don't have those gifts. Yes, you do. Allow them to come up. But anytime when you say, I don't have those gifts, or I'm not where I want to be, that's you're praying to the universe going, okay, well, I'm not where I want to be. Okay, well, we'll give you more of that. I'm not where I want to be. Claim it. This is getting those dusts out of that corner. Okay. And then we have?
That's a new person, June 333 is their name.
Hi, June 333. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. So we'll pull a card for you next. Okay. So on top of Abby's card, which I just read for Abby, is the Hierophant. So June, I'll build on Abby's message to you. This is the Hierophant. Anywhere anyone has told you that you're not smart, or you're wrong, or you're bad, are you willing to release all of that now? All of that now. And then I actually 2 cards pulled out for you, June. This is the reflection card where take a break from toxic people. And not listening to them. Because if people are toxic, if they're addicted to the fear, the disappointment, the jealousy, annoyances, bitterness, resentment, envy, you name it, if they're addicted to that, they're only going to spew that. And this is you backing off. This is the reflection card. What a beautiful blue card this is. It's just peace. Go and be where you are absolutely peaceful. And what this is doing is creating a space for you where you're going to have more of that. And only become and be around peace and joy and just the beauty of life. Absolute beauty of life. Okay, now we got Geo and Kat.
You can do Eliza, Adriana, and then Geo and Kat. Yeah.
Eliza?
Yeah. She's on Facebook.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Eliza. Okay, Eliza, really important. When you're around this time of year and you feel like you need to be or have to be around certain people because of family, you can go, it's easy for a person to go on sensory overload. You're way too unaware of a person to be around that kind of an energy, especially when so I tell people on the show, I don't really go to hospitals, I don't go to funeral homes or cemeteries. For me, I'll send flowers, of course, and I send cards and I talk to the person over the phone, but I don't go there. It's just I'm way too it's very difficult for me. This is Eliza getting some sage, getting some really good incense, cleansing your home, especially if you've had people over that have been not of the highest vibration. And you've had people over that have had stuff and things on them. So it's important to clean your home with sage or incense. You can even mix up salt water and just do a light spraying of your house with salt water. Because you're way too sensitive. And anywhere where you've been feeling kind of off, it's not yours. So once you do the incense, once you do the sage, it'll help you really feel much, much better. Okay, Eliza, then?
Cat and Jared.
Then Kat and Jared. Do we have Adriana? Is Adriana separate, or is it Eliza Adriana?
Eliza Adriana is her name.
Okay, all right, thanks. Okay, then we got Kat and Jared. All right. So again, it's not that people are wrong or bad, Kat, because you love who they actually are, not what they believe, not what they're addicted to. Or their behaviors. So this is very similar to Marilyn Pitts's text this morning, or today, when she's texting about people posting on Facebook constantly, over and over and over again, about the people they've lost and the pictures, and just horrific things. I mean, really horrific things. Anywhere where anyone around you has been literally addicted to sorrow, or they're telling the same story over and over again after years and years and years, it's not good for you to be around that. Or any sorrow around expectation. Expectation in relationships, expectation in, or expectation of other people. Letting go of that. Sends you lots of good energy around letting go of that expectation. Or any expectation anyone has put upon you to entertain them, to it's like people calling you, hey, we're coming next week. Okay, love you, bye. Wait, did you ask to come? Did you ask if it was a good time? And then some people will just put up with it because they don't want to cause that person unhappiness or sorrow. This is like, no. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, and then Jared. Okay, my friend Jared. Amazing, amazing person. Oh, and I gotta share this with everybody, with Jared. So Jared sent me this text, guys. It was so freaking. It was amazing. I've had like 1,000 texts this weekend. So hang on a second. I love Jared because he sends me these texts of stories or readings that I've given him in the past that many times I don't remember. But he said to me, he sent me this one. He said, "You talked to me about a lady coming into my life with an accent." It was in one of my readings. Anyway, in my class this past weekend, a mentor who I now look at as a friend is from South Africa, another doctor. She's been someone I've asked questions about and has given me advice along this path, which has been amazing. So, Jared, you're going to continue to experience that. This is the illumination card. This is okay. So I know you're a doctor, so I know you've studied X-rays. This is developing your X-ray vision. So I was talking to Marilyn and Abby earlier about Marilyn's ability to see past lives. This is right up your this new venture that you're going into is right up your alley, because you're going to know intrinsically, like with X-ray vision, what to do for that person and where to give them the help that they need, if you know what I mean. Like their facial structure. You'll be able to, it's like X-ray, but you'll automatically kind of just follow your gut and you'll know what to do and how best to help them. Okay, do we have everybody?
I believe so.
Okay. Wow, what a great show. So we'll do another show Sunday night, and then we'll be back on schedule Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday, everyone. Have a blessed rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for taking some of your Thanksgiving weekend and sharing it with the show. Great blessings into you. And step into that space of surrender to reveal your true self. Okay? Love you all. Have a great night.